Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the Mayflower, and on the Mayflower we also do tarot readings. So hello, so happy to have you. I am so excited for this reading today. Can I be real? I just got this new tarot deck. It's called the Crybaby Tarot, based off of the world of Melanie Martinez. If you don't know her content, check it out. And today we're talking about creativity, and this person that this deck is based off of is very creative. You know, there's just been a lot of synchronicities to do this reading. I've been kind of wanting to do it for a little while. I feel like I wanted to show off my nails, and my nail tech did something very creative with my nails. Look at what she did, isn't it so cute? It's literally so good. I just watched a whole thing this morning about creativity, so I just feel like this reading is just meant to be. I'm just really feeling it. This is what's supposed to happen right now. There was something else that happened this morning too. I don't know, I'm just feeling in a very creative mood. This YouTube thing's very creative for me, so yeah. What are we doing today? We are looking at how to regain your creative spark. You know, this is for my people who... I'm actually already getting messages. This is interesting. So this reading is going to be for people who kind of have lost creativity. It's going to be for people who maybe have a weak sacral chakra right now. We're going to be looking at your sacral chakra, as that kind of talks about creativity. There might be some sexual messages in here too, pile one. We're already getting into it. There might be some sacral messages here as well, I'm kind of getting. Just because that's really tied heavily... Wait, what am I saying right now? There might be some sexual messages, you know, tied into all of this, because sexuality and sacral chakra are very connected, and creativity, energy can be very connected to all this. So, yeah, that's gonna be something we're gonna look at. Potentially today. This is gonna be pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Yeah, I'll see you at your reading, my friends. Take your time. There's gonna be a little bit of a pause if you need some time meditating with the cards, or really taking your time with the cards. So I invite you to take a deep breath. And let's get to it. See you soon, my pile people. What? The Mayflower people? What am I gonna call you guys? Ooh, see you soon, my flowers. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe I will call you my flowers. Okay, see you soon, my flowers. Hello, my pile number 1. This is for everyone who chose this card. This is the Ace of Wands, which is very interesting. Right off the bat with this ace, you know, we're gonna do this later. I feel like this is going to be where the energy is going to be channeled. But right now, kind of how I want to structure this reading is we're gonna look at kind of where you're at, creatively right now. We're gonna look at where your sacral chakra is at, and then we're gonna look at how, you know, you can get your creative spark and how you can channel your creative energy. All right, pile number 1. So lovely to have you. Thank you for clicking on my videos today. It's very much appreciated. And of all the videos on YouTube, you chose me, so some stiff competition. Thank you. Pile number 1, where are they at in creativity right now? Yeah, I feel like you, my pile number 1s, with this 8 of Cups reversed, I feel like you are quite confused when it comes to creativity right now. I feel like you may not know. There's a blockage here, and I feel like there's a blockage in direction. This 8 of Cups, this stone, is pointing upwards. And I feel like the 8 of Cups in general is supposed to be about, going on your own journey, finding your own path. And I feel like you, my pile number 1s, may be confused creatively. I'm seeing that there might be a lot of... I feel like there might be something you want to do. Because what's interesting to me about this card is that there's a lot of cups, that are not like creative. Like they're like, if you can see, if there's a lot of cups here that are not, if you can see, there's a lot of cups here that are not so decorative, and there's one in the middle that's decorative. So there might be something, my pile number ones, that you're into, but you're not quite sure how to channel that energy. Where's pile number one right now with creativity, creative projects? The Eight of Swords. We have 2 8s here, so 8 might be a significant number to you. With it again coming out in reversed, it's like, again, there's a blockage here. So this is the first time I have this deck in front of me, and I usually don't do it like this, but I thought it would be like a creative kind of challenge for me to like have this be a new deck right off the bat to read with. With the Eight of Swords like this, there's again like something in the middle of this. All the other swords are not creative, not decorative, but it's almost like, pile number one, what I'm kind of getting is that perhaps like what helps you be creative or something that you're passionate about almost feels dead. It almost feels like it stifles your creativity. This could be something like, maybe you're doing something creative for monetization, but you're kind of just doing it as a job right now and not really like for that fulfillment creatively. There's just something here about you doing something and it's almost like eating away your creativity. So you could be on a path right now where you are embarking on something creatively and it's not fulfilling you anymore. For others of you, I feel like this is like, and this is, I think this is more the majority of you, it's almost like you have to do something and that stifles your creativity. So this might be a job. I just don't feel like you have enough energy for this. This stone right here too, it's not like charged almost for me. It's like I almost expect it to be white and not blue. Where's pile number one at right now in terms of creativity? Some more messages for pile one's creativity. It might even be multiple things with this 8 here. There might be multiple things stifling your creativity right now. It's like, all right, here's this big thing, the job. And there's like, my mom is yelling at me all the time. And then there's like my girlfriend's like being mean to me. And then there's like, I don't know, my dog I have to take care. It's almost to me like you just don't have that energy to be creative right now. The 4 of Wands in reverse. I almost feel like you might feel like you're a little all over the place. These wands are a little scattered, pile number one. Yeah, too many hands and too many pots. This came out in reverse. So I feel like you're not tapped into your intuition at the moment. I feel like you're not, oh wait, I always forget. I feel like you're not tapped into your intuition at the moment. I feel like you don't know where to go. With this crown on here too, I'm thinking like, again, there's a sense of like direction. I don't feel like you know where to direct yourself at the moment. Yes, and then we have the moon coming out too. I really like to have people have their time to see the cards if they want to. Yeah, with the moon coming out, I feel like you're just kind of doing some deep diving into your intuition about this. This feels very, like, this just feels so, like, spiritual, pile number ones. Like, this almost just feels to me like you're trying to, like, almost delve into the spiritual realms to figure out the solution. But it still feels wrapped up. Like, it still doesn't feel like you have a clear way forward here with, you know, there being this lantern here. It's almost like you might still, like, be trying to figure something out, but you're not really sure. You know, with those ribbons down here, it just still seems like you're pulled in so many different ways. It's almost like you're trying to tap into your intuition, but you just can't. And here we also have the 4 of Pentacles. We have 4s and 8s. My pile number one's 4s and 8s. An Ace of Cups at the bottom that's in reverse. There's a lot of emotion here of sadness, pile number ones. I feel like you're exhausted. I feel like you don't know like where you're going in life right now, what you're really doing creatively. You might actually be pretty set, like pentacles wise, like stable in your career, in your family, and basically in a 3D, you might just be very secure, but it's almost like that security comes at the cost. Yeah, with like these stones here have like colors and stuff, right? It's almost like these, it's like you're still not able to get to that zazz, right? That like zazz of life here. Alright, I want to take a look at your sacral chakra. I want to know what's up here. I feel like there's going to be some information, more information here about what's happening with you. Can we take a look at pile number 1, sacral chakra? Oh, I took away your card. Frick. Well, I'm sure it'll come back out, if I'm being honest. 5 of Wands. So there's a desire for change here. I almost feel like there's a desire for like destructive change, like a big shift on your end. That's really what I'm feeling in like my heart right now. It's almost kind of like with this moon here, it's almost like you may not have all the answers, but you just want to move. You just want to change. You want to do something. It's almost like, can I just do anything? Like, even if it doesn't really work out for me. With the Knight of Cups, yeah, a new offer, something new, like, you just might even be like you wanting to switch jobs. It doesn't feel like that, like, serious though. It just feels like maybe you just want to like take up a new hobby, like drawing. Like, look, this one has the stones that are colored. So it's like, I think you want to do something with the Knight of Cups here that's new, that you're kind of a novice at. That fills up your cup, you know? That makes you feel fulfilled in some sort of way. Yes, with the Ace of Cups, it's something new. The Ace of Cups now is coming out outright. Your sacral chakra, I feel like is just kind of like begging. Sorry, pile number 1, my camera died. Okay. So as we were saying, I feel like your soul is just really, like your sacral chakra is begging you to do something different. Your sacral chakra is like, can we please do some like big change here? This 5 of Wands almost just feels like a burst. So you may have a burst of energy right now, or you may get a burst of energy in the future to just do something new. With the World, it's again like you feel like the world's your oyster. You're like, I don't know if I'm good at drawing, but I just need to do something here. This is also like based on Melanie Martinez's world, right? So you may be going back to school at the moment. So in Melanie Martinez's albums, like her second one's K through 12, which is about school. Which again kind of like brings back this thing from for elementary, right? Like you're a novice, like, or maybe you're going back to school and you're going to art school. Whatever it is, I feel like it puts some pizzazz in your life. With the Magician, there's still like, ooh, look at this Magician, y'all. To me, this is like with this like Magician having this like machete here, and this is actually in reverse for you, my pile number 1s. It feels like this blockage is still here, even with this drive to do something different. Even with your sacral chakra, I actually feel like your sacral chakra is really activated right now. I'm seeing your sacral chakra like glowing, but it almost feels like it's not swirling right. I feel like it's just being unblocked, pile number 1s. Like, I think that's why this burst of creative energy is happening. You needed a shift. You needed to shift this energy somehow, and I feel like you're kind of forcing it, which is causing your sacral chakra to have some movement. I don't think it's completely unblocked though. I feel like it's not, it's glowing, because I feel like there's a lot of energy in it, but it still feels kind of blocked to me. Like it doesn't feel like it's flowing. It feels like there's a lot of energy and now it's being forced to move. The High Priestess in reverse, again with this intuition here being blocked. It's almost like you can't hear what your sacral chakra is telling you as well. With this High Priestess also being pregnant, this reminds you of the Empress, of something new. So again, I feel like you don't even know if this is like what you really want to be doing with your time. I feel like you don't know if this is like a new adventure that you're gonna actually like, but it seems like something you just really want to do. With the Nine of Swords here, you know, I am picking up that you are sad about this. I feel like this might be something that just brings you a lot of fulfillment. you know, being creative in whatever way that you can be creative. And I think that you feeling blocked, this also feels kind of new to me. Like, I don't know if you've been blocked like this before, pound number ones. I don't know if you felt like this blocked before creatively, or this lost creatively before. Because like, to me, again, it feels like perhaps you were doing something before that was, you know, putting some light into your life, or maybe you were just going about life and, you know, you were fine with it, but then it almost just felt like empty, like there was just some sort of blockage here in your sacral chakra. And now I feel like you're driven people, pound number one. So you're like, we need to move this. Something needs to be different. I don't know what, but something needs to be different. I want a little more information about your sacral chakra. So I'm actually getting to that it dims out. So I don't know if this energy is long lasting for you. With the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, this sort of energy, yeah, again, what was I just talking about? Like, this energy is not long lasting always. This energy doesn't always stay with you. And then it almost feels like you go back into this pattern of, and the Ace of Wands came out again. I knew this was gonna come out again for you, pawn number one, so I accidentally put it back into the pile when I shuffled after your first thing. So I'm gonna put this little card right here for you so it doesn't go away. But I feel like you kind of go into this pattern where, you know, you get this amount of energy where you want to change. But this energy isn't stable, you know? You may have a lot of different ideas. I'm also getting like there's just too much energy. Like maybe you just don't channel that energy in a way that's actually tangible in the 3D. Like you maybe like work on this and then work on that, and then or you channel your creative energy into other 3D parts of your existence and not towards the creative goals that you want. I'm feeling like you may not even have like really, like you may have ideas of where you want to be creatively. Maybe you want to like create a book or start some creative projects, but I don't feel like it's 100% tangible here. Like I don't feel like you've mapped out every step. I feel like there's that desire for that end goal, but not exactly for the process. So I feel like you just go into this cycle where it's like you feel like you really want to do something creative, you know, you have a lot of energy, you're doing it, but then you get really stuck, right? Then the energy just kind of fades. Then you kind of just go about life and you're like, life's kind of boring. I kind of want to do something. And then you're like, yep, let's do it again. And the cycle goes around and around, but I don't feel like you actually get anything done with this. With the Sun in reverse, I actually feel like this cycle makes you pretty unhappy. I feel like you want to channel your creative energy in a more direct way. I feel like you, my pound number ones, don't know how or on what. All right. So now we're gonna look at how you can get your creative spark back. I'm already getting one message of balance here. Let's see if that continues. How can pound number, oh my gosh, I just put your card away again. I've been having a day where I'm just like very spacey. Like I've been trying to practice mindfulness a lot today. Because I'll just be doing things. I'm like, wait, why am I doing that? Pile number ones, how can they get their creative spark back? I also want to see for you like how you can channel your creative energy, but that might come out here. How can pile number one get their creative spark back? With the Queen of Pentacles here, what I'm really getting is, do you see how this girl, this is Melanie Martinez, is sitting on, or Crybaby, I guess it's actually the character Crybaby, is sitting on this pentacle and she's sad. I feel like pile number ones, how to get your creative spark back, a part of this is mastering this energy here, this sadness that you feel when you aren't able to create. Life is a balance of happy and sad times, of creative and uncreative times, and I feel like when you're not creative, you get into a rut and you may get stuck there. I feel like when you're not creative, you might feel like life's not really worth living. And I think that Spirit is saying here that, okay, so there's two messages here. You feel trapped by this sort of cycle that happens, right? I feel like you feel trapped. These are like chains here to me. Almost like, so I think that you feel trapped by this cycle. So I think that Spirit is inviting you to kind of assess this, like, are you actually trapped? Is this an 8 of Swords moment where like you have more options than you think you do? or other ways that you can be creative that maybe aren't like where you want to be but are still creative. Like if you were doing some creative stuff before you kind of lost your spark, you know, maybe doing some of that until you're able to really channel where you're going. It's almost like, how can this be enough, pile number ones? How can this be enough right now? Channeling this energy enough for you to feel at least a little bit satisfied, not where you want to be. It's just like almost like something to do, so you're not just like sitting there doing nothing. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what I feel like you kind of get into, is this space where you don't do anything, where you feel, it really feels all or nothing, pile number ones. It feels like you get into spaces where you're really creative and you feel like life is great, and then spaces where like you're really sad and you don't have any energy to do anything. I'm almost wondering what would happen if you channeled your energy, your creative energy, when that was happening. But the other message here with the Pentacles is to really ground your creative endeavors, to create steps and plans so that you are able to kind of know where you're going at every point, so it doesn't feel like you're not doing anything. Even if you're not working on it, you're like, okay, I know where I'm at, I know where I'm going, I know like approximately how long this is going to take me. So that's kind of what's coming through already. How can pile number one get their creative spark back? Spirit, thank you. How can pile number one get their creative spark back? I'm almost feeling what might happen is your sacral chakra might just like go out of control here. The Six of Cups in reverse. This is so interesting, pile number ones. It's again with this like one cup here, and then, but what's different about this one, you see, is that there is orange, like kind of how I'm reading into your pile group number one is when the crystals are not colored. That's kind of when I'm sensing you're stuck. I almost feel like, okay, so I feel like when you kind of get your creative spark back, it's not going to be all nothing, pile number ones. It might be like, okay, I have some energy and I'm doing something and I feel okay, but I don't know if it's what like I actually want to be doing. It's again like this sort of novice thing. I think that if you have an idea right now for a project or to go back to school, for some of you this might be as big as like going back to art school. Going back to art school, whoa. That's not what I thought I was gonna say. Going to school. For some of you, it's like, we'll touch on this, don't worry. For some of you, I just saw 111 too, like on my camera, 1111. So this is definitely about starting something new, my pile number ones. It almost just feels like you might have an idea right now that excites you, but for some reason you don't feel like it's attainable. And Spirit is saying, how can you attain this? Like, what are the steps in the 3D that you need to do in order to meet this goal? Can we clarify the Six of Cups in reverse, please? The Five of Pentacles. Yes, you're creating this change, but it needs to be stable, pile number ones. You want this, like, it's almost like we're moving from the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, right? With this cycle, we're moving from this burst of creative change and we're trying to figure out how can we make this more tangible, how can we make this more grounded so that you can channel this energy. Can we clarify the High Priestess in reverse, please? There's still this sense here about that you don't know where you're going and that you don't know if this is what you're actually meant to be doing. Yes, with the Moon in reverse here, you're not sure if you've done enough inner work to really know if this is what you want to do, my pile number ones. Can we clarify the High Priestess in reverse, please? The Nine of Cups in reverse. It's almost like we started with the Eight of Cups in reverse. It's like you are taking a step forward right now with this, but you still don't know if it's like your fulfillment. You still don't know. You're very unsure of yourself right now, pile number ones, with the Emperor in reverse here. I feel like you just don't know if this is a good idea for you. And I think that kind of what I'm seeing here is you might start doing whatever this thing is. You might be afraid that you're going to start doing it and you're going to be so into it and then it's going to go like the energy is going to be gone. Because that's kind of like the energy I'm getting here, is that then your energy somehow is going to be gone like eventually. The Four of Cups. Pile number 1, there might always be a part of you that just feels like you're doing something wrong. There just might always be like a part of you that feels like whatever you're doing just isn't enough. There's always that other cup. I think with this though, this is talking about a different perspective. The crystals are a different color now. This to me just feels more balanced. It feels like you're almost like with the 10 of Wands. Pile number 1. What the heck? How can pile number 1 get their creative spark back? Can we talk more about this 4 of Cups? It's almost like you're channeling this energy in different ways, pile number 1. Yes. Yes, with the Page of Swords. So I think with this energy, how can you also channel your creative energy into multiple creative projects or multiple aspects of your life? Maybe you're focusing way too much energy on one thing at any time. But like, it's almost like you're focusing on one thing, but you have multiple things you're focusing on. It's like, I'm gonna give all my energy to my relationship, then I'm gonna give all my energy to my art piece, then I'm gonna give all my energy to work. Like, it doesn't feel very balanced, and I feel like with this 4 of Cups and the Page of Swords, it's finding ways to balance the energies that you're giving to everything, and kind of like, you can channel your creative energy to every aspect of your life, pile number 1. You can channel the sexual energy, like, there's a lot of different videos on YouTube about sexual energy. If you're interested in this, like, look it up. You can channel that sexual energy into things as well, and not sexual as in like, I'm trying to have sex right now, or I'm like, I'm horny and I'm gonna like try to have sex wherever I go. It's like, I'm gonna use that energy that sex gives me and I'm gonna put it towards something else. And I just feel like for you, pile number 1s, like, that's gonna be what's most helpful, is balancing your energy into different aspects of your life. Yes, with the Hierophant, it's again that source of balance for me. That sort of like balancing the spiritual and the 3D here. We again have 5. There's so much here about change, pile number 1. If you're afraid that things aren't going to change, I'm telling you, there's too much here about change. I think you might need to just take a chill pill a little bit. Like, and by chill pill, I mean like calm that part of you that feels like everything is. And then with the Fool, come on, pile number 1. Things are going to shift. But I think you're going to like think about different ways to get out of these shackles here. I think you're gonna be thinking about different, because look, she's eating this ice cream and it's purple. So I think you're gonna be, you know, trying different things. That's definitely part of your creative spark here, is changing what you're doing, finding different avenues to channel that energy. It still seems like with this Fool though, like, do you see how this wolf is still kind of, it's almost like she's leaving the wolf, but it's still holding over her. So I think that this part of you, pile number 1, is still going to exist. I think it's just a cycle that you're trying to master, a part of your existence that you're gonna keep going through. And you're learning how to deal with it. And I feel like in the long term, you are gonna learn how to deal with it. I mean, these are too many cards, but with the 10 of Pentacles coming out and Judgment, there's still gonna be, in reverse, there's still gonna be a lot of confusion, but I feel like you are gonna figure it out. How can pile number 1 get the creative spark back? 1 more card. 2 more cards, okay. 3 more cards. Again with the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Knight of Wands in reverse. So I think there might be actually a pile number 1. There might be too much of a focus on like, what does Spirit want me to do right now? And I think that Spirit is not directing you. Well, that's wrong. Spirit is not saying there's any wrong choices here, and I think that you're almost afraid to make the wrong choice because you're not able to connect with your intuition. Spirit, it just wants to guide us towards our greatest good, and I think pile number 1, there's no like end goal here. There's no like perfect reality once you like master this. Like, I don't know if there's some sort of like idea you have around, once I figure this out, I'm gonna be creative forever and everything's gonna be fine. That's not how this reality works. This reality is like always that balance, right? And you're learning that balance. The more you push towards, I want to be creative all the time and feel good all the time, the more you're gonna get blocked. The more you're gonna go through this cycle. it's about accepting the shadow part, right? It's accepting and channeling that shadow part and saying, all right, I feel bad right now. Like, what am I gonna do while I'm feeling this energy? How can I still channel? How can I rest until I'm able to channel again? With creativity, oftentimes I see that it does go in circles too. Sometimes you feel creative and sometimes you don't. But that spark always comes back. And I feel like that's really the main message for you, pile number ones, is knowing that that spark is going to come back, maybe in different ways, in different levels of intensity, but that it is going to come back eventually. The Knight of Pentacles is, again, more about grounded energy here. And I think with these chains, it's about what do we do when we're feeling bad? Like, what do we do when we're not in a place where we feel like we can be creative? When the King of Wands, this almost gives me, again, the Emperor energy, where it's like taking control of your life. This might be connected to your inner child in some way, but I feel like this is you kind of mastering it instead of it mastering you. So now I want to look at how to heal your sacral chakra, and then we're going to look at like where channeling your sacral or your creative energy, and then we'll be done, because I'm kind of just interested in pile number ones, like what you're doing. How can pile number one help your other sacral chakra? So this is going to be spiritual. Okay. I'm doing some sacral meditations. I'm also getting, this might be more channeling than getting cards, especially since they're not falling out yet, well, as they all fall out. I'm getting that, like, getting some meditations going around your sacral chakra, especially, I think, like, you visualizing your sacral chakra, like, spinning correctly and flowing in the right direction, and being able to handle these cycles of energy in a better way. Like, I think guided meditations here is what's showing up for me would be very helpful for you, and having someone else kind of guide you on how to do this at first. So there's that. You might also be masturbating too much, pile number ones. I'm getting here that there's just a lot of sexual release and not a lot of gain. So your sacral chakra is located near your genitals, or maybe like at your genitals, like that sacral chakra sort of. Yeah, this is again not balanced. So you might be having like a lot of sex, a lot of masturbation, and like very intense sexual encounters even when you don't want to. And I think that's the main thing here, is like maybe you want it but your body doesn't want it. And this is about kind of balancing that sort of aspect of yourself, I think. What else will help pile number one with their sacral chakra healing? I'm really getting rest, pile number ones. Like, this is coming through before too. I think that you're kind of learning how to take your body and rest with your body when it's not feeling that great. You know, I don't know if you give yourself a lot of rest, and this is about resting. It's again like the more you push, the more it's not going to come through, the more you're not going to be able to channel anything, pile number ones. You don't have the energy to. I think maybe that's why this cycle keeps happening, is that you just like don't go with the flow of your body. You just keep pushing, and then you feel stifled, and you feel angry, and then you're almost like forced to rest. I'm getting there's one more message here about your sacral chakra. I think it's like not, okay, so when you have energy kind of flowing through you, pile number ones, what I'm getting here is to not let it go so far. You might be someone who really likes the extremes of life. And it's almost like we're not meant to be in that extreme place every single time. We're meant to like go with different cycles in life. You know, we're meant to like sometimes be calm and then sometimes be happy. Like that's how our bodies naturally go. And you might just be someone who wants to be at that high intense level all the time. Pile number one, I totally get it. That used to be me. It still kind of is in some ways. But I've kind of learned how to kind of master my own things. I think you're still going to feel very confused, pile number ones. I think you might even feel like your happiness is being taken away from this information, from this guidance. And Spirit is really just asking you to go on this journey. Alright, we're actually going to transfer now into where can you like channel your creative energy? Because that's kind of what I'm getting is the next step here. So where is pile number 1 channeling creative energy right now? Where is pile number 1 channeling their creative energy, spirit? Towards the things that, again, it's just too intense. Alright, we're gonna get one more because I feel like we kind of already know. And the King of Swords. It's still like, oh my gosh, I feel like you kind of beat yourself into like doing the thing. It was like, you're just like, okay, I guess I'll do it. You're like, do it! Have sex! What's this creative like project that pile number 1's doing? I'm really getting art at school, y'all. 3 of Swords. I think like this kind of was coming out earlier, but I think like channeling somehow when you're feeling sad or feeling like stifled, like almost creating art out of that, I feel like would be very helpful for you, pile number 1s. For some of you it's poetry, and I think just writing, even just like not expecting it to be good, it's almost just writing like I feel awful, and then like somehow it turns into like a poem. Queen of Cups. There's something here about channeling your creative energy emotionally, and I don't know if you always do that. It might be intellectually. That's not really what I'm getting though. You might channel creatively, but I almost feel like it's like happy. Like there's just some sort of sense here that you don't channel. Yeah, pile number 1, it's the devil. You channel in a way that's like your urges, the happiness in life. The devil tempts you and you just go straight for it. Like I don't feel like you have another thought about it. You're like, it feels good, I'm gonna do it. And this is just like really emphasizing this need to, like, this is a mask. This fantasy and that you can always be this happy, this creative is a mask. And I think that you're finally taking it off. You're kind of realizing that. Yep, 9 of Swords in reverse. And then how do you get out of that? Making art about how you kind of leave this place of sadness, of uncreativity. This might even be a time where like when you make art about this, it becomes more clear of like how you can move through this, pile number 1s. I want to get some final messages for you, and we're going to end your reading. So what's some final message, pile number 1 spirit? Ooh, pile number 1. 3 of Cups. Hang out with your friends, have fun, life's not so serious. Just letting you know. The Hermit, I think just like continuing to take that time, pile number 1s, continuing to take the time and reflect. A reflection would be really good for you here, just being like, how did that feel to me? You know, really intentionally taking that time, like after an event or after a cycle. I'm also feeling like even after sex, like, okay, how does my body feel? How do I calm down? Like, what's happening right now? What do I want to do next? What do I feel like would be best for my body after this? Like, I feel like that's really gonna help you. And then with the 10 of Pentacles, you're gonna figure it out, pile number 1s. I feel like you are just such creative people and special people and like people who just have a lot of ideas. And I think you're gonna figure it out, and I think you're gonna be able to balance this energy as long as you keep going on this journey. Pile number 1, that's all I have for you today. That reading was like a lot. Self-care, please. Replenish that energy. I know I'm going to. Ways to connect with me are in the description box below. Yeah, if you like this reading, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. I post tarot readings on Fridays and talking videos on Mondays called Mondays with May. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, pile number 1. Hello everyone, this is for everyone who chose pile number 2, the Ace of Cups. Oh, pile number 2. Alright, we're gonna put this to the side for now. This is gonna be a little bit later in the reading about channeling your creative energy, how to get that spark back. If you want a little preview, the Ace of Cups is about new beginnings, like starting a new cycle, new fulfillment. So that might be coming up what's next for you, but let's see here. First, we're gonna start with where you're at right now creatively. I'm also gonna take a look at your sacral chakra, see where your sacral chakra's at. Since that ties into creativity, there might be some sexual messages coming out too, since that is also where your sexual organs live and your sexual energy. And then we're gonna look at how to get your creative spark back and advice for your sacral chakra and going forward. All right, pile number 2, let's get into it. Where are you at creatively right now? This is the 9 of Wands in reverse and the King of Wands. So I thought this would be a cool creative challenge for me. I've never worked with this deck before. I just got it. I love the artist though, and I love the art. So I figured it would just be like a cool creative challenge for me to have a new deck. My cat's meowing right now. What are you doing? She's like trying to come up on here. I don't know if you could see her paw. So with the 9 of Wands in reverse, I feel like you might be coming out of a time where you have been feeling a little stuck creatively, or there might just have been some stuff going on in your life that wasn't great. With the King of Wands here too, I'm feeling a lot of like you trying to take charge of something in your life. This feels like this isn't like creative. It feels like this is like 3D, like something might have been going on. Yeah, something that was really making you feel jumbled, stifled, lack energy in general, depressed. That's what's coming through. Fit it to your situation. I'm feeling like you are kind of like done with the situation and are taking steps to get out of it. Why this affects your creative energy is because I feel like you've just been feeling depleted. You've been feeling like you don't have enough energy for whatever creative endeavors you're trying to go towards. I feel like you might be feeling trapped by these right now, but you're trying to break free. That's really what I'm getting here. You're trying to break free from these chains. You're trying to open the floodgates again to creative change. Let's see here. Where's pile number 2 at creatively? The 6 of Wands in reverse. Why does it say 6 of Wands when there's only 4? Am I missing something? Am I? Tell me if I am. Am I missing a wand? Is the middle one's a wand, but then that's only 5. Where's the 6? Anyway, 6 of Wands in reverse. This again just feels to me more like stifled energy here. It just feels like you've had to go through something, pile number 2. It feels like you've had to go through something in the 3D world that just like was really, with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's like, okay, I'm going through a cycle right now that's just draining me. And that's whatever. It's cool. I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna deal with it. The Ace of Wands, I feel like now you're trying to go towards more of a state where you're like, where can I get that creative spark back? Maybe that's why you clicked on this video today. Because you're like, I want this to come back into my life and I don't know how to get there. Or maybe you know how to get there, but not exactly. That's what's kind of coming through. Either way, I feel like what's really cool about pile number 2 here is that you guys, if you hear my cat running, my cat's just, you know, she's going about. She has the zoomies. I feel like that's what you're gonna have soon. I feel like you are having the zoomies to create. You're having the zoomies to start anew with this. You were going through whatever you had to go through. I really feel like it was financial or something in the 3D. You had to take care of your mom. For some of you, it was just something where you had to spend your time, and now you're like, hey, we're going into a different space. I feel like with the 7 of Cups, you may be getting more into like, I think what's been helping you get through what you've been going through is dreaming about your creative endeavors here. I feel like it's giving you, hi, yes, I love you. My cat's being needy. I feel like that's been helpful, pile number 2s, is like to think about what you're going to be doing next. Think about some ideas, you jotted them down, you're like, hey, we're going to do them later. This to me just really feels like you're going for it, pile number 2s. Like you, with the Magician upright, yeah, it really feels like you are going towards fulfillment. It feels like you kind of know where you're going. You might know like what fulfills you. You might be working, some of you this might be like monetary gain. I'm getting painting, drawing, some what is it called? Computer shit. Do you see that? It flew the fuck out. 8 of Wands. Yeah, you're lifting these chains here, if you see. We're lifting the chains. And I feel like it's almost like you're having all your ducks in a row here and your intuition is activated and you're going. It's like, this is almost what I'm feeling. It's like, okay, this is flying away. This was the stuff that was bad. You know, it's still kind of in my life, but it's okay for now. It's almost like if you had kids and like you lost a babysitter and now you're like, hey, the babysitter's there. I still have my kids. I still have to care about them. If something comes up, I have to drop this and go. But all my energy right now in this very moment is going towards this. That's kind of what I'm getting with that 8 of Wands. Can you not? Yo. Stop. Stop it. Being needy. The Fool, yep. Yep, I feel like you're about to embark on a new adventure here. I really don't feel like this is anything of a direction. I feel like you know where you're going, you know what you're doing. I feel like I feel like it's almost being pent up inside you, pile number 2s. It's like that creative energy is ready to burst out of you. Yeah, you're ready to let go. You're ready to let go of what didn't serve you anymore. Let's see where your sacral chakra is at. This almost feels like, to me, like, you know when you are having sex and it's almost like the foreplay and you build up to an orgasm? That's almost what this feels like to me. You're building this energy and it's just like ready to pop out. 7 of Wands, there's just so much. You've just been thinking about this. I feel like this has been something you've just been daydreaming about, focusing on. It's been the center of your attention here. For some of you, this could be a sexually creative endeavor, or like you're just really excited to have sex with someone, some people. You definitely feel like this is earned. Pile number 2s with Justice here. You definitely feel like you've earned this time to do this. You've earned this this creative outburst because you've just been stifled for so long. I'm so happy for you that this is kind of where your life's at right now. I'm not picking it up. I'm done. 10 of Cups in reverse. Can we get some more on that, please? What's a 10 of Cups in reverse? There might be some fear that this is going to happen again. We have 7 and we have 8 here. With the 8 of Pentacles, it's almost like building up and then you're gonna outburst it in the 3D. The 8 of Pentacles is also kind of like a hard working card for me. So I feel like for you, like, this might have been a project you had put on hold but you were so excited about before. And you've been working towards it for a long time. Or just like an endeavor you've been working on for a long time. But what about this 10 of Cups in reverse? I think you're afraid this is going to topple down again. 8 of Cups. That you're gonna, for some of you this might be like mental health based. You might be afraid you have to take time out again and go away from this. Can we clarify 10 of Cups, please? 7 of Swords. Yeah, I think there's just like something here about the energy going backwards and like you having to take a time out again. You having to, I'm feeling like this is depression or something, pile number 2s. Whatever this is, it causes you a lot of agony. In whatever way that it does, there's this sense that in the future you might have to keep balancing this, right? That this might be something that is long term. It's kind of what I'm getting here now. I almost feel like you're kind of dreading it. This feels emotional for you, pile number 2s. Okay. So with your sacral chakra, I almost feel like, I think you're holding yourself back right now because I'm feeling like that energy is really stuck in the middle of your sacral chakra and it's almost like pinpointed in. It's almost like it's flowing inwards, but then like out towards your body because it can't stay in there. Like that's almost what it feels like to me. These cards keep wanting to come out, but I'm just trying to channel right now. That's what it seems like. It's almost like it's pinching, like in the middle. and you're holding it back because you're just like, you don't want to get your hopes up. You don't want the energy to flow out and then you get drained. I think you put a lot of effort into your creative endeavors, pile number 2, and you do not want them to, you don't want to get burnt out, I think, here, by having to manage the 3D and this. With the High Priestess, I think you are really open to guidance around this, probably, which is why you clicked on this reading. You are trying to let your intuition guide you here. You're trying to balance all these different energies. Jesus fucking Christ. 3 of Cups in reverse. So I think that whatever this is has really prevented you from hanging out with your friends, which I feel like can fulfill you, or engaging in activities and supports, community. This is about connection here. I feel like connection, intuition with this eye. Oh, it's actually not an eye, but it looks like an eye from in the camera a little bit from where I see. There's just something about this like prohibiting you, pile number 2s. I really want to get into how to get your creative spark back. I feel like you're itching to get to there too. Alright, how can pile number 2 get their creative spark back? How can pile number 2 activate that spark within them for creativity? 3 of Cups. So 3 of Cups kind of was just shown to me in an upright way, so I think it's like, whatever this was, pile number 2s, it might be something that like has changed your life forever. That's almost what it feels like. And what I see here is you, so like before you might have been able to do something like, or let's go back to the kids example. So let's say you just had a kid. Before you might have been able, like before you had this kid, you might have been able to like hang out with your friends, you might have been able to like go wherever you want, whenever you want, work on your creative project whenever you want, and now you have this big thing you have to take care of. For some of you, I am getting that your parents might be sick and you have to take care of them, and I'm really sorry if that's the case. That sounds like it really sucks to go through. And it seems like you're having to balance that as well as like the other parts of your life. It just seems like this thing that you have to take care of that you don't want to take care of. And I think what Spirit is saying here is like, so you might have been able to like in the span of a week work on a creative project, go to work, hang out with your friends, rinse and repeat, whatever. And now it might be like in the span of 2 weeks, you hang out with your friends 1 week, you spend, you know, time working, time doing this thing you have to do. The next week, maybe you still spend time with your friends, you're not doing a creative project, then the week after, you spend time on your creative project, like for an hour. Or you set aside, I'm feeling like for a lot of you, setting aside some boundaries and a specific time you're going to work on this creative project or creative endeavor, whatever it is, would be good for you. For some of you, this really is sexual, so it might have like affected your sexual relationships. So maybe setting some time with your partners or yourself, if you know, this is just you pleasuring yourself here, to say this is the time we're going to do this, or at least that we're gonna hang out and like try to do this. Because then I feel like this would balance it more where you're putting boundaries out there. You're like, I'm gonna make sure that like this is like good. Like this is not, like I'm gonna make sure that I have the time to do what makes me feel fulfilled, right? Yeah, Ace of Wands in reverse. Right now I just feel like you don't have that. I feel like you have to put so much energy into this, and you might be the only person that's putting energy into this. So for those of you that might have kids, it's like, you know, maybe there might be no one else helping you right now. If you're taking care of your parents, you might be the only one taking care of them. And like, yeah, I just feel like you don't know how to get out of this. You're just like, what do I do? And you're like, maybe I don't have supports. And I think it's like, you know, I think there is a middle path for you here, pile number 2s, with your creative spark. You're wanting to go back to creativity, and I feel like you don't feel like you have the energy or the time to do it. And I think that there's a middle path here where it's like, you might be spending so much time on this that you maybe you don't need to spend so much time supporting or helping. Maybe there are times where it's like, yeah, the kids are fine. I can just go do this creative thing, like while they're asleep, or while, you know, maybe I can hire a babysitter, maybe I can ask my neighbor to like do this for free if I don't have money. Like, to me it just seems like the universe wants to give you a way out of this, like as a break, not like forever, but the universe wants to gift you this, and I feel like you're almost rejecting it in a way. I feel like you, and it's not like a bad thing, like I'm not trying to, I feel like this card really wanted to come out. Yeah, Five of Swords. I feel like there is some change here that will help balance this, but with this coming out like this, it's like almost up to you. It's like, are you taking too much responsibility right now for whatever this is? Because I feel like you might be. And with the Knight of Cups coming out like this too, it's like you are able, ooh, I'm actually getting this as in reverse. This might feel like you're like almost selfish for doing this. This also might be what people might tell you in 3D. But I feel like with this Five of Swords, like there's just like change wanting to come out. And it seems like you're blocking it, pile number 2s, for whatever reason. With the Eight of Pentacles, you work really hard. I'm really getting that. Like, you work hard, pile number 2. And whatever that you do. And I feel like you have put more energy than you're getting out in terms of this situation. And maybe you're not supposed to get energy out of it, and that's okay. But I feel like you just have been putting so much of it that you're not even able to give to yourself anymore. And I feel like Spirit is saying that there is a way for you to balance these energies and for you to have some support. I think it's just like there might be like letting go of some store. I feel like it's different for all of you, which is why Spirit's not specifying it. For some of you, it's like there might be a person in your 3D reality that's telling you you're selfish, and it's kind of letting go of that story. You might just be telling yourself that you're being selfish, and it's letting go of that story. You know, whatever it is. You know, if you're in the lack mentality, there's a certain belief you have around this. Like, Spirit is asking you to kind of think about it and evaluate and try to let it go. The Six of Cups in reverse, it almost feels like if you go down deeper into, I'm the only one taking care of them, you know, I'm the only one doing this, I'm the only one that cares, like that's what's going to show up in your reality. And I feel like if you don't feel like you have any support right now, Spirit is saying manifest it, like put it out into the universe, know what's coming to you, accept it. The Hermit, this is in reverse, so I think right now you're in a space where you don't really want to do that inner work to figure this out. You know, take it if it resonates. It just feels like there's a part of you that gets really angry about this, and I feel like it's just really tough for you to take the time to do this. And Spirit is saying the more you take the time to do it, you know, the more I feel like you're going to be rewarded. The more I feel like you're going to be able to spend, this is again the Eight of Wands coming out, like spending that time doing that energy, like doing this creative project here. With the Queen of Wands too, I actually feel like once you master this and once you kind of go through the cycle of figuring this out, you're going to feel a lot more like you have control over yourself and your situation. And I feel like you're going to pull back these illusions that are happening for you. I feel like there's just been some deceit that's going on in your head or in your reality, and I think that you're going to really be letting this go. I almost just feel like it's letting go of lack or something, pile number 2. It's like, that's what I'm getting here. It's almost like that's just where your mentality is. It's like letting go of suffering, that urge to continue to bring ourselves down. How can pile number 2 get their spark back? Seven of Cups. It's accepting that someone can help you. It's really just like pouring back into your own cup, taking that time, allowing yourself to take that time. I feel like that's the thing, pile number 2. I don't think you're allowing yourself to do that. How can pile number 2 get their spark back? The Wheel of Fortune. I almost feel like for this too, it's like, I mean, never really with the wheel do I think about time, even though sometimes it comes out as time. And like the imagery could be time. That's almost what I'm feeling here. This might be something that's long term, pile number 2s. This might be something you have to deal with for a really long time. And it's almost like, do you want to continue to deal with this with all of your energy put into it for years to come? Is that what you want? Or do you want to kind of try to balance this so you can also have some good feelings in your life, some good activities, energy? Okay. So let's take a look at your how to heal your sacral chakra at the moment, and then we're going to close out your reading with some advice. I feel like yours is really straightforward, pile number 2. It's you're holding back that energy, which may be tied to some sort of lack perspective here. And Spirit is inviting you to shift that into an abundance perspective, inviting you to accept that there might be some help available for you, and then, you know, plan out that time so that you can have that time to do sexy time, or that time to do creativity. And if it's not in your 3D reality right now, you don't see it, then attempt to manifest it and know that it's coming to you. How can pile number 2 help heal their sacral chakra? Oh yeah, that's right. For the other piles, I just channeled this. Well, we have the 4 of Swords. Let's see here. I'm getting that you literally like almost like put a sword like through your sacral chakra. It's really almost like I'm getting pictures of you just cutting it off. But I think that's almost like cutting it off, like, I think it's again this sort of sense that you restrict yourself here. It's like you're restricting yourself from, yeah, you're like almost killing it off. You're saying, nope, I'm not allowed to have sex right now. I'm not allowed to feel good. Why are you not allowed to feel good about this, pile number 2? It's like that energy's trying to flow through and you're like intentionally blocking it. And I think that releasing that, whatever it is, like it's kind of again what we were talking about before. I think if when you don't cut off that energy, it's going to flow naturally. Your sacral chakra to me just like flows naturally. That's what I'm seeing. And I feel like when you allow yourself to let it flow, I feel like you might be a sexual person, pile number 2s. The Page of Pentacles. It's almost like, yeah, allowing it to go through. You know, if this well is your sacral chakra, allowing that blockage to move out. And accepting that. And accepting the feeling good. And accepting the creativity. Alright, let's get some advice for you. What's the advice for pile number 2s? The 4 of Pentacles in reverse. There's just still this sense here that you are going to continue doing what you're doing. And I think Spirit is saying as long as you continue to do that, you're going to be exactly where you are. With the 7 of Pentacles here, again, you're a hard worker. With this though, it's almost like, it's like, where are you directing your energy, pile number 2s? Like, I just feel like you... do you hate yourself, pile number 2s? I almost just want to say that. Like, do you hate yourself? It's like, why do you hate yourself? It's like, let's really try to work on this here. And like, it's just really like that you feel guilty. And I feel like with all these cards falling out, like that was kind of direct. Like the way I said that was pretty direct. And I feel like that might have been kind of triggering. And if it was, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to channel the messages here. But I really feel like there was some resistance when I said that. And I think Spirit is saying here, like, let's try to work this out and try to do something better for ourselves. What's the last advice for pile number? Yes. Like, you deserve this. You deserve so much to feel good, pile number 2, with this Lovers. You deserve to have sex. You deserve to like feel so good in your body and let this flow. It's like, you deserve this. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to have these, like, this sun in your life and all these different things. I think it's just allowing yourself to feel that as well. I feel like to kind of leave it on a positive note, the Temperance is at the bottom here. So I think that the more you go through this, you know, I think there's a part of you that does feel selfish, but look at this, this motherly figure kind of giving this child, if it'll focus, giving this child the water. I feel like there's some nurturing of your inner child here, some nurturing of that part of you that feels selfish, saying it's okay to receive, it's okay, we're still lovable, you know? I feel like that's kind of what you're being called to do here. Sometimes we have to do that for ourselves, that we have to be that person that, you know, helps us feel like we're okay to be able to receive and do things, to have that sweetness of life. And you deserve it, pile number 2s, you really do. So, all right, pile number 2, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being at this reading. I'm so grateful. If you want to connect with me, you can go to the description box below. Ways to support the channel are there. You know, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I post tarot readings on Fridays and talking videos on Mondays, called Mondays with Mario. Haha, because I'm May, huh? No, just me, okay. Alright, pile number 2. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Hello everyone, this is for everyone who chose pile number 3 with, wow, this is very fitting, the 3 of Wands. Pile number 3, you're always so interesting and I love you. You're always just so different in my energies. Pile number 1 and 2 always kind of feel like the mainstream piles, and pile number 3 is like the wackadoo, and I love it. If you consistently pick pile number 3 in my readings, I don't even know what to say. I feel you just must be like a very extreme and well-rounded person, I guess. So with this, we're actually gonna get this card a little bit later. Although I think I forgot to get it for pile number 2. I'm just realizing, but their message came out. It was still like the same. But for you, I'm really getting that you might actually be like in a dark place right now, or you like to channel some dark energy. Like you are kind of live in the darkness a little bit, I think. Anyway, we'll see. Where's pile number 3 at right now creatively? Oh, let me tell you how this is gonna go. So we're gonna look at where you are in your creative life, or your creative endeavors. We're gonna look at your sacral chakra, since that is connected to your sexual and creative energy. And then we're going to look at how to get your creative spark back, how to heal your sacral chakra, and then a little bit of advice at the end. So let's get into it. Pile number 3. Where's pile number 3 at right now creatively? Pile number 3. Pile number 3. Ace of Wands in reverse. I feel like you're like really rejecting like the light right now. The 4 of Cups. I almost feel like this doesn't feel like you're restricting yourself. This feels like pile number 3. I'm really sorry if this comes out as rude. I'm just trying to channel, okay? It feels like you're trying to be sad. It feels like with the sun in reverse here, this almost feels like to me like you're trying to be in a darker energy, almost than what's actually happening in your body. I don't know if like your aesthetic is like this, like dark and pink, and or you hang out with people or have some sort of belief system that you're supposed to reject like goodness, reject when happy things happen to you. That's almost what this feels like here. It's almost like you have like this opportunity or this great thing in front of you and you're rejecting it for whatever reason. And I actually think you're quite sad about it. I'm trying to finish my coffee. So if I take some sips, that's why. Yeah, that's what it seems like to me, pile number 3. And what's interesting with the 4 of Cups is usually these cups are like not filled, not all of them, but I'm almost getting for you like these cups are meant to be filled. It's almost like they're meant to be a little bit more like filled and tappy than they are right now, and you're like not allowing it for some reason. There's pile number 3 at right now with their creative energy. I don't know how this relates to creativity, but I'm sure it'll come up. You probably know. You live in your life. This doesn't tell you anything you don't already know. The High Priestess in reverse. You're really going against the flow of life right now, pile number 3. You're going against like what your body is naturally trying to tell you, your natural cycles in life, and I'm not really sure why. I'm not trying to shame you or judge you. I'm just saying that information is not coming out in your reading at the moment. The 8 of Pentacles in reverse. It's almost like I'm too cool for school. I'm too cool to get a job. I'm too cool for like, you know, to be happy. I'm gonna be this. Okay, this is like a stereotype, but like I was kind of there at one point, so I get it. It's almost like when you're like trying to be a hipster and you're like, I'm so different. different. I'm so sad. Everyone else is so happy. And it's sort of like, okay, we're all sad too, dude. Like, and then, oh my gosh, I saw this TikTok the other day where it was like, it was like in the 1990s or something, like, even though this song didn't come out in the 1990s, but it was like Demi Lovato's La La Land, and someone was like dressing in black. And they were like, that's just me. And then like other people kind of tell me like, no, oh my gosh, we actually dress the same way. And the person's like, that's just me. Like, I'm the only one dressing in sneakers and dresses and all those sorts of things. It's almost like that's just what's coming through pal number 3s. I don't know if that specifically is like what is going on with you. There's just such like a rejection of like the pattern here. There's just so much of rejection of like, it's almost like this is what it's meant to be. Pal number 3s, like this like orderly energy, but this is how you're making it. You're like, let me just fuck it all up. I just want to, just because I want to. I just want to rebel. This feels rebellious. I'm not gonna lie. This feels rebellious. And I'm kind of here for it, but at the same time, it's like, you know, is this actually affecting your life, pal number 3s? Like, Spirit might be saying that this is going so far as to maybe stifle you creatively or create some blockages with them. Yeah, some blockages internally with the moon in reverse. I feel like you were just disconnecting from yourself and your intuition. And I almost feel like you know exactly what your intuition is trying to tell you, and you're like, huh, fuck that. And I don't know why. Is this the rebellion? Like what? Alright, I'm actually getting now to look at your sacral chakra, so we're just gonna keep going, pile number 30s. This is quite interesting. I'm so here for it. Can you tell I like feel you? Alright, pile number 3. Where is your sacral chakra at right now? It feels very similar to pile number 2's, but more intense. Like it's almost like pal number 2 is like unconsciously trying to put a sword through their sacral chakra. So they were very restricted, right? Like pal number 2 was restricting themselves, but almost like unconsciously. You know, like now, like pal number 2's was slow, like putting their sword into their sacral chakra. You're just cutting it all off. You're like, I might as well just like cut my genitals off. Like why? I don't need to feel good. I almost feel like you're almost like not even just cutting it off, pal number 3. It's almost like you're inviting like you're inviting darkness into it. Pal number 3, I just gotta say, if you are engaging in any dark magic or, you know, inviting like evil spirits in, I just gotta warn you that this is like can be potentially really serious. And I'm not like really saying that's what's happening. You know, I would invite you to kind of seek out a service if you feel like you want to kind of purge this from you. That's not me, because I don't offer that. I don't offer personal readings yet, but I will in the future. Yeah, to help purge this sort of thing that's going on with the Ace of Cups, but the 2 of Swords is also coming out. So I feel like this is like, okay, hold on. That's what's next. I can tell that's what's next. This is like your choice, pal number 3. This is your life, you know? Like, you can decide whether or not you want to be happy or not. I just like, why do you want to be sad? That's just what, and that's not like me talking, that's like just a question that I keep like feeling compelled to ask you. Why do you want to be sad? And it almost feels like you might have like a surface level immediate answer for this, and I think Spirit is saying like, what is the deeper thing here? What are you blinding yourself to? What is the real reason you don't want to be happy? It might have to do with your inner child with this, but for some reason you're taking the sword and plunging it right into your heart. But about the dark magic thing, I'm just like, just be careful, you know? I'm not saying it's bad. I used to be a witch. Just be careful, make sure you're protecting yourself, you know, it could cause long-term damage, you know? Feels like that just might be what you're dabbling in. Alright. Ace of Swords in reverse. So this is like your immediate reaction is to plunge, is to just like destroy the energy. Energy can't be destroyed, but that's almost what's coming through. It's like you're just like redirecting it. You're like, it comes to you and you're like, goodbye, inviting in darkness. How can number 3 get their spark back? How can pile number 3 get their creative spark back? The theme with all these readings has been mastering this energy, you know, or like the shadow side of themselves. And that's the same thing with you, pile number 3. So I'm not going to take all these cards, but with the King of Wands falling out like that, this is about figuring out how to, yes, the Death in reverse. You just like keep pushing this away. And you know you're not supposed to be doing this, but you keep pushing it away. Why does pile number 3 keep doing this? I just feel like this is important to the reading. 3 of Cups in reverse. It's like you want to be a loner for some reason. Pile number 3, I'm really not trying to offend you with anything I'm saying right now. I'm just wanting to let you know. I'm just trying to get a sense of like where you're at. So if the way I'm phrasing it, or the way I'm saying it offends you, I apologize. I'm not... When I channel, it's kind of like I'm letting go of like the 3D reality sort of thing. So I might say things in a way that are offensive, and I want to let you know that's not my intention. If I was talking to you in real life, I would just be like, whatever, you do you. So I just want to let you know that if I'm channeling and it's in a way that's triggering, or I'm talking in a way that's triggering, that's not my intention. I'm not trying to shame or blame you or anything like that. With it, yeah, again with the 8 of Cups, it's like you want to be alone for some reason. It's like you reject social activity, you reject the goodness. I actually think people make you happy and you reject it for some reason. 9 of Swords in reverse. This is like bursting pile number 3s. It's like Spirit again and again and again has been inviting you to not do this. Okay, what's coming through right now is like, I don't know if any people know what like what bug chasers are, or like, okay, let me explain, because this is exactly the type of activities and like energies that I'm getting here. So there's this sort of culture within the gay community where people will chase getting AIDS, and it might not exactly be called bug chasing, but you know, you can kind of look it up and you'll see. It's almost like people are like pausing other people, like pausing as in like giving people positive HIV, and it's like sexually inviting and activating for them. It's very like intense, you know, people, it really gets them going, whatever. It's their thing. Again, I'm not blaming on that either. You do you, it's your life. That's almost like what I'm getting here. It's almost like it's like you're trying to hurt yourself. Do this activity that like is not good for you, or in a way that's just not good for you. The Moon in reverse again. You're just being urged not to do pile number 3s. How can pile number 3 shift this? I always feel like I always do things differently with pile number 3. 9 of Pentacles. It's finding some stable solutions for this for sure. How can pile number 3 shift this energy? Get their creative spark. I don't know how this relates to creativity. Well, I'm gonna look at that too in a second. And pile number 3. I mean, this might be sexual. I mean, this really, I mean, with this example that I just gave, this might inherently be you're engaging in sexual activities that are not good for you. Because this is like creative sexual energy can kind of be linked here. 5 of Cups. It's almost like Swords. This to me is like breaking free, like with like change. Like the 5 of Cups, it's like focusing on the cups that you have and not what you've lost. I feel like there are like friends and like good experiences on this earth for you, pile number 3, that you can just go towards anytime you want. Like hang out with your friends, or hang out with your sister, or whatever, hang out with your family, and it's almost like you just reject that, and it's like you have that choice to do that at any point. The Knight of Swords, it's like your choice though still. It's like you deciding very intentionally to go towards those experiences, to feel these urges to go to this darkness and like comfort yourself and say, no, I'm not gonna do that. How can pile number 3 shift this energy? The 6 of Pentacles. So again, we're kind of getting this imagery of like the pentacles, and so to me this is very like about your long term and honestly your safety and stability, pile number 3s. And if none of this is a substitute for medical advice, so if any of that's going on too, This is what I mean, pile number 3. It's like, this feels serious to me. Like, I'm now urging you not only to go to spiritual healers, but like medical healers. Like, I don't think that how serious this is can really dawn on you at times. But that's what's coming through here. With the 6 of Pentacles, it's like, I think it's like putting in order what needs to be put in order, and like channeling this energy. This is how this relates to creativity. Channeling this energy of hating yourself, of this lack of, you know, hurting yourself into something creative, into something different. And this might not be like art. This might not be the creative in the sense that we're thinking here. This might be creative, like going to the gym and like punching a bag. Like, that's almost what comes up for me with this. It's like physically somehow giving that energy out of you. And at first, it might literally be like, okay, I'm having an urge, I'm going to the gym. I'm having an urge, I'm gonna like go out for a run. This feels like it needs to be something intense for you. I'm not sure why, but that's what's coming through. This needs to be something intense for you. And then it feels like you also need some time afterwards to calm yourself, comfort yourself, and soothe yourself. And if you don't know how to do that, therapist, look up self-soothing skills and try some self-soothing skills. You know, self-regulation skills. Pile number 3, what's also really interesting about all of this is I feel like you've actually been the darkest reading on my camera with all of this too, because I've been trying to figure out the lighting this entire reading. And I think I finally settled that this is the lighting I want to go on, and this is darker than the other piles. Like go back and look at the lighting. It'll be different. Where do you want to go next? How do we heal your sacral chakra? So this is kind of been more of a channeling than getting cards. The first thing that I'm seeing here is purging this darkness from your sacral chakra. So sacral chakra meditation. I feel like inviting like good experiences into your life, and like, I deserve to feel good. Some I am worthy affirmations might be good for you, or just telling yourself that you're worthy of goodness, pile number 3s. Look up like I am worthy affirmations. My favorite is Life with Bird, or Yoga with Bird. She also does yoga, but she has some affirmation videos and they really resonate with me. If they don't for you, that's fine. There's so many like affirmation videos out there. Because I almost feel like for you, like the first step right now is to purge the darkness. Because if we're not like kind of focusing on how we, they're not really telling me what to do afterwards, because I feel like that's not where we're at right now. It's almost like, let's focus on this. If you're watching this like years into the future, I'm sure I'll have another like thing about creative spark, and maybe that'll be like a part 2 to this reading. It might be. Or maybe you have to go to a different tarot reader. I don't know. I'm not always that person that's like, go to my content, only my content. I'm here for your healing and not. I don't really care how much money I get from this. I'm getting 20 views per thing right now. I just want what's best for you, pile number 3s. Like, to be quite honest with you. If that's not with me, then that's not with me. Go to another person and get what you need. Like, it's really where we're at. I think like where we're at right now with this is you kind of figuring out how to feel like you're worthy of goodness, and prohibiting and stopping the activities that are harming you and are dangerous. Then after that, we're going to look at, okay, how can pile number 3 kind of channel this energy in a different way? Right now it's just stopping the activities, right? And then afterwards, I think it's like channeling the energy, and how do we let this energy flow and build up? How do we build this energy ourselves? Because I actually feel like for you, like engaging in these activities might be exciting for you, and I don't think you want to be bored. And I think that like you might just naturally be bored when you're not doing these things. Like, you might not be someone that just has a lot of like drive, like naturally. So this almost like excites you in a way to go towards these experiences. So pile number 3, I really feel you right now. Let me tell you, I used to be like this, like hardcore. This was like one of my, the moon in reverse. This is the 3rd time this has come out, pile number 3s in reverse. We're gonna get some advice for you. I think that your intuition is actually really leads you where to go. It leads you away from the 10 of Swords. You choose to go towards the 10 of Swords, pile number 3. this is what you're learning right now to let go of, is this darkness. I think like if you gather nothing else from this reading, is try to follow what your intuition's telling you, because I actually feel like you're in, like you have the ideas pop into your head, and you know kind of like instinctively how to not be a part of these experiences. I feel like spirit and your spirit guides are actually really like, they are very much with you right now. They are very much like right next to you, like, hey, like this is not okay. And again, yes, again, intuition. Your intuition tells you what to do. You get these downloads on exactly what you're supposed to be doing right now. And I think that like afterwards, here's another thing that I think is a part of this, and I feel this too, pile number 3s. I think because your spirit guides are so with you right now, because they're trying to protect you from like going into darker realms, into darker spaces. It's like when you're not doing that, they're not as with you, and you almost don't feel like you know what to do. You feel a little more lost. And that might scare you a bit. And spirit, your spirit guides are really telling you that they're still there with you, even when they're not, like cautioning you to do something that, it's just kind of like, it's almost like they're sounding off the bells, right? It's like when the fire alarm goes off. The fire alarm can't go off at all times. It would be really annoying. And your spirit guides are saying like, that's not how this reality is supposed to work. We're not supposed to be constantly doing the fire alarms. We're doing it because we want you to be safe, but we're not going to be directing you like this and that and that and do this and do that. Like, this is more, we're trying to not have you stop doing this, and then we're going to show you and guide you towards like what feels good. It's a long game. This is the long game. This is not like short-term pleasure here. This is self-mastery at its core. What's the advice for pile number 3? I feel like you've gotten so much already. What's the advice for pile number 3? Ace of Cups. Like I said, you know what to do, pile number 3s. I feel like at this stage in the game, when you're watching this reading right now, you know what to do. This might have been like a love offer, and you rejected the love offer, and spirit is like, why? Grow something new. You have a choice to either reject this or go towards it. This is really up to you. This is the energy of starting something new, a new cycle, and this is the energy of going exactly towards what you've been going. And this just really feels like it's your choice, pile number 3s. Can we end this on a positive note? Pile number 2 also didn't end on a positive note, and I had to like create it because I was like, this feels weird. 2 of Wands. I feel like this, if there's any doubt in your mind that you can't do this, spirit is saying that you can. So this might be on the surface what's happening, like this fear, like you can't do this, but your intuition is like, in like the spirit realms are almost just like, yes you can. Like this is actually, you're so much more powerful than you think you are. This might almost feel like addiction, and you're like, I don't know if I can handle this. Like, what is life without addiction? And spirit is saying you can figure it out. There is life after this. You can do it, pile number 3s. I believe in you too. For what it's worth, I believe in you too. The world's your oyster. I think that you, and then the Ace of Wands, this is exactly what I was feeling. I think that you, my pile number 3s, can find things that are fulfilling and exciting for you that are not this. If this is like why you're doing this is because you kind of feel empty inside, spirit is saying that there are other options for you. There are other ways to create this energy within you, and again, that's where you're going to be led once you stop engaging in these activities. How do we create creative energy? You know, how do we build it up, and then how do we release it in a healthy way? That's what's going to be what you're going to be led to after this. All right, pile number 3, I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for being here. Ways to connect with me are down below and support the channel. Please like this video and subscribe if you want to see more. I do tarot readings on Fridays and talking videos on Mondays called Mondays with May, because I may. Ha 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 ha. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, pile number 3.